Welcome back, everybody. Here's Looney Cat. Now, I'm thinking that a tail goes swishing by. I'm thinking a test for me would be to incorporate a far more clever camera angle or two camera angles for these YouTube talks that I've been recording. And of course, the ones I'm sharing with you live. And probably if the cat was in the picture smiling, my subscriptions would probably go up about a trillion fold, roughly. So there's a test for me. Why have a beautiful black cat sitting here, smiling and being purry and furry and sometimes frisky and risky and not take full advantage of that to grow my YouTube channel so that it includes all the people in the solar system? So there's another test. Um, the topic this week is tests. Do you like tests? Did you like them growing up? I really liked them, I think, up until about the sixth grade. I was always done first. I always got to leave class first. The poor, pathetic remedial students would be spending all the rest of the class answering, and I just could instantly had all the answers, filled them out. And so those tests, they weren't really tests, were they? They were just exercises in demonstrating sort of what I already knew. Is that really a test? Not really. Then I got moved up a grade, and then I moved six more times, and then it was algebra class, and I got confused trying to solve for x, and I went down the drain um, scholastically, and high school was sort of a nightmare, and I barely graduated. There were other issues. If you were on camera right now, we would have so many more subscribers, but we keep having these tests, don't we now? A great question is, why is God testing us like this? And we might refer to Job in the Bible. He was subject to a very famous test, sort of orchestrated by the devil. It's always nice to have the devil create tests for us and see if God will sanction the test. But anyway, I digress. But my favorite spiritual author said, it's never God that's testing us. It's our own tests. It's the one we arrange for ourselves. And how would we arrange a test for ourselves? Well, simply as a result of where we are in our development and what we're learning and what we're not. And if we're not learning vital life lessons, life skills, life qualities, life's character, then we simply have to repeat the test over and over and over. And the only thing worse than not passing a test, a life test, is having to repeat it over and over and over and over. But most of us came in, I guess you might say, with a sort of karmic test that something we're going to have to keep working on until we've worked through it. I know very clearly what mine is, and my karmic test in this lifetime was the test of abandonment, this feeling of people, places, or things leaving me. And so that's all. That's been more than a test. There's another phrase in spiritual scripture for the really big tests, and they're called, get this, fiery trials. Fiery trials. Not warm inquiries. They're called fiery trials. So um, it's all interesting, but what test are we going through today? And I'm quite convinced the universe is saying, do you want to pass it now? Do you want to pass it now? No. Do you want to pass it now? No. Now, no, now, no, until finally we gather enough information, enough knowledge, enough insight, enough character, enough persistence, and we pass the current test. What happens then? We graduate to something larger, more interesting. Boy, I remember when I was 16 years old, all I wanted was my driver's license so I could go ripping around with my friends and go down to the river and bay at the moon and drink cases of beer. And but what I've noticed now is a lot of young ones, they're not interested in the driving test because they'd rather be on their device. And so thank goodness, it won't be 10 more years. All cars will be self-driving, and that won't be a test we have to pass anymore. But this week, you might ask yourself, what's the biggest test of my life? What's been the biggest fiery trials? Have I had to repeat them? Am I being scorched by them? What will be the benefit or the result if as I pass these fiery tests, What new capacities, skills, insights, influence will I have? What new plaque will I have on my consciousness wall, so to speak? I hope you like the topic. Marcy, thank you for your update. And Karen got your message that you'll be able to attend, and I'll keep asking. I love you guys a lot, and you're doing great on your tests, and we should be grateful for our tests because they advance us. See you tomorrow.